There's no doubt that being a twin is something special, but living to be 100 years old with your look-alike sibling is more than remarkable. Well, today, George and James Morrow of Morrilton celebrated their 100th birthdays together, surrounded by friends and family. Fox 16's Rochelle Turner speaking to the twins who have witnessed a century of change, and she was fortunate enough to attend the party. Rochelle?
Man, that party was amazing, Kevin. Good evening to you. But seeing George and James celebrate their big day was even better. They're not letting their age define them. They're still very active, funny, and loved by so many people.
Happy birthday!
Sitting side by side with smiles on their faces.
You tell me? Happy birthday! Oh, thank you.
Surrounded by their loved ones.
To me, I don't think you can find a nicer bunch of people.
At Lone Oak Missionary Baptist Church in Morrilton.
And I thank them for all they've done for us here.
George and James Morrow, celebrating 100 years of life.
I feel just as good as I did 25 years ago.
The twins were born in 1919.
I'd rather live back when I was a kid just to live today.
And a secret to looking young.
Get out and be honest and truthful.
And living a long life is simple.
Don't be afraid to work and leave the booze and the wild women off.
A sense of humor also goes a long way. And while age is just a number, the twins still enjoy the simple things in life.
I like to raise a garden. I like to see stuff grow.
The pair also shared advice for the younger generation.
Instead of looking at these phones and this, to learn something and how to do something.
And still remember what it was like growing up.
Yeah, we argued.
Holding on to a special bond they say will never be broken.
I think the good Lord has something to do with it.
Now, the twins' birthday is Wednesday, but they wanted to be around friends and family who visit them out of state today. They told me they're going to keep living and enjoying life. One of the twins actually got his license renewed, and they have a younger sister, Miss Jeanette Morrow, who is 98 years old, and their oldest sister, Miss Mabel Carter, is 105. Happy birthday, James and George.
Wow. They know what they're doing, that's for sure. That's awesome. They don't even look close to being 100. Thanks, Rochelle.